Black is going this way, and the first thing that you should notice about this position is that white can actually checkmate black in one move in a number of different ways. So for example, this is just checkmate. Okay, queen e5 is just checkmate. Even knight to g5 is just checkmate immediately. But we are not going to do that if we're playing with white. We're going to do something that's much more interesting than checkmate in one. And let me show you what it is. Hey guys, I'm about to show you 8 positions. Some of these were composed problems, some of these were taken from actual games, but all of them are absolutely stunning, and I promise you, you will enjoy these. So make sure you don't skip out on any of these. Stick around to the end because the last one is my favorite. If you're curious, I took these from the book Play Like a Grand Master. Highly recommend this book. It's very good, although I will say it's geared more towards higher rated players. So if you're a beginner or intermediate player, this might not be the book you want to start with. I would recommend having a rating of probably at least 15 or 1600, maybe even a little bit higher. But this is really going to give you a good idea of how do grandmasters actually think when they play chess. And so, like I said, much more advanced, but it is a very good book. I'll link that below if you're interested. But having said that, I hope you're ready. Let's go ahead and get started with this position right here. All right, guys, so believe it or not, it is white to play and win. And I would like to point out the fact that white only has one pawn, which is going this way, and black has their entire army, every single piece, all 8 pawns, both knights, both bishops, both rooks, and the queen, and yet it is white to play and win. This one shouldn't be too difficult, but go ahead and pause if you'd like. What's the winning move for white? Well, if you had a chance to look at that, the correct move is promoting your pawn, but not to a queen. We need to get a knight, and our simple threat is knight to f7 checkmate. And the ironic thing about this position is that even though black has literally, like I said, all of their pieces, they can't deal with this threat. What are you going to do? You can try to move your queen somewhere, but you can't control that square with a queen move. The rook can't control it because the pawn's in the way. The bishop is stuck from getting there. The knight would like to go there, but it can't because the pawn, the bishop obviously can't do anything. The other thing that's funny is black can actually get a queen on any of these pawns and it does nothing. It doesn't change the outcome. And so regardless of any move that black plays, we'll just do this one for sake of example. White's coming in for the checkmate and smothered mate. Pretty funny when you think about it. Let's go see position number 2. All right, this position is black to play, and I believe this was taken from a real game. I say I believe because there's a little bit of debate over whether or not it actually was, but it looks to me like it was. I mean, if you look at this position, it looks like a normal game. Black has sacrificed 2 pieces, so you can see white has all 4 pieces, black only has 2. And so it makes sense that black would have sacrificed 2 pieces to lure white's king over here, trying to attack it. And now black has to find the finishing blow. So black to play and win. Go ahead and pause if you would like. This is not at all easy, but I'll give you a chance to try to find it anyway. All right, guys, if you had a chance to look at that and you're ready to see the solution, the winning move for black is queen takes b4 check. Of course, the king can't take because it's defended, which means white has to capture here. And now the really difficult move of this study is the mind-boggling rook to d2. Now let's go ahead and just count a little bit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. White has 5 pieces that can capture that rook for free, and yet this is the winning move. It's absolutely incredible. And here's the point. The point is we would like to play the move knight to c2 and just simply checkmate white's king. If we go back a move, notice how the white king can't move. So knight to c2 is almost checkmate, except for this rook over here, which can capture the knight. So the first point about rook to d2 is that if the knight captures, or if this knight captures, or if this bishop captures, any of those moves, we're going to come in here with the knight and deliver the checkmate. All right, cool. But what about the rook or the queen? Well, if the rook captures, it blocks the queen from defending this bishop, which was actually important because now, since the queen is no longer there, we can simply capture and we have this really nice checkmate with a pawn. So that's the other point. And then the last one is if the queen takes, we can follow it up with knight to c2 check, which forces the queen to capture. And again, now that the queen has left that diagonal, we have the pawn checkmate. And I mean, that's got to be one of the coolest checkmates with a pawn that I've ever seen. Mostly because of that amazing move, rook to d2, where you put your rook in pre by 5 different pieces. It's absolutely stunning. So That's pretty cool. Let's jump to the next one. All right, this next position was taken from an actual game. White played the move h3, and now black has a winning idea. And at first glance, when you look at this position, it's kind of like, well, it just looks like a boring endgame. Black has a few extra pawns. We've got a bishop against a knight and some rooks. I mean, what's going on here? I'm going to start off the combination for you, and then I'm going to give you a chance to solve it once we kind of get going. So the first move here is rook to d2, which at first glance, it's like, okay, you're attacking the pawn, but white can simply defend that with knight to a4. And now the really stunning move, rook takes b2. All right, so we sacrifice the rook. White captures it, and what's the point? What is black going to follow up with now? If you'd like to pause, go ahead and try to figure out what's the idea. All right, well, if you had a chance to do that, the point is that now black is going to play the move c3, and we're attacking the knight. We're also threatening to maybe just keep pushing and get a queen, and white has to figure out how to stop this. And you can't really go behind the pawn with your rook because it's obviously would just get captured, and this pawn is blocking. So white has a nice little idea. Rook takes b6, and the point here is that now if we capture the knight, well, of course the rook is going to just take it. And the other point is that if we try to push by, white's going to simply play knight to d3 and stop our pawn this way. And so it looks like white has just won the game by playing rook takes b6. A very nice move, right? Well, now black plays another stunning move, c4. And remember earlier how I said knight to d3 was what white wanted to play to stop the pawn? So by playing c4, black is taking that away. So the threat behind this move is to play c2 and get a queen. And the knight, which used to be able to stop that, now can no longer go there. It's going to get captured. So white plays rook to b4, trying to just come up here and take the pawn, and then obviously the black's gonna not be able to do anything, right? Black has a winning move here. If you'd like to pause again and try to figure out what could the idea be. All right, if you had a chance to look at that, first of all, let me just talk about the pawn moves here because none of these moves work. If you take here, white simply takes it and it can very easily stop your pawn, so that doesn't work. And if you push, again, the rook simply takes here and you can't really do anything. So it looks very hopeless for black. But the winning move is pawn to a5, attacking the rook, forcing it to move. And the point is that if the rook simply takes here, well, now we take the knight, and you can't go behind the pawn anymore because of that a5 pawn. You also can't go down here because this one, and there's no stopping it from becoming a queen. Wow. All right, what's the other idea here? Well, what happens if white simply takes here? Now you can play c2, and the rook can't stop the pawn this way because you take it, and the knight's actually blocking the rook, and so you're getting a queen regardless. And the amazing thing about this, guys, if we go back to this position, you've got two double isolated pawns that aren't even that close to queening. They still need two spaces to go, and a rook and a knight can't stop them after you play a5. It's just winning for black. That's why this is so incredible. I don't think I've ever seen a position like this where two double isolated pawns can do anything useful. It's amazing, right? Normally they have to be like connected pawns so they can help each other. It's just fascinating, and it's totally winning for black. So hopefully you guys can appreciate these amazing pawns, and let's jump over to the next position. All right, this next position has a really fascinating finish to it. So let's go ahead and take a look. White's going forward, so this pawn is going down this way. Black's coming this way with these two pawns. And it's white to play and win. If you'd like to pause and think through what's happening, go ahead and do that. But this one's a little bit tricky to see all the way through to the end. All right, if you had a chance to do that, let's go ahead and take a look. So first of all, white has to play c6, threatening to come down here and get a queen. So the first thing that I'll just kind of mention is if black tries to stop it with their king, that's actually a bad move because now white can play king over, and you're still going to go here and get a queen, but now you can do it with check, which is even better, and black doesn't even have time to do anything. So king to b8 doesn't do anything. The other way black could try to stop this is to relocate the bishop around this way, because you can't go here because this diagonal is controlled. But what you could do is play bishop to e4, and then after c7 you could play bishop to b7 to stop it like this and try to sacrifice the bishop for the queen. But white has a really amazing move, bishop to g2, and it's pinning the bishop so that next move you're going to get a queen regardless. If black takes you, you simply get a queen, and that's going to be a win. And the other thing would be if black plays king here, you simply trade, and then again your king comes up and you get a queen with check. Okay, so because of that, the only thing black can do after we play the move c6 is try to push their pawn and get a queen as well. So c6, and then we have b2. All right, we push it again. Black pushes it, gets the queen first, but we get the queen with check. King has to move here. We throw in this check. King has to go back. And just to show you, if the king moves up, this is just checkmate right away. So the only move for black is to go back. And now is where it gets really interesting. Bishop to g2 check. The king is trapped in the corner, okay? So it has to block this diagonal, and it looks like black's actually set up to do that. Bishop to e4 blocks the check, and it looks like black is fine, right? Wrong. White has a killer move. This is a good moment to pause if you would like. What can white play? Well, if you had a chance, the move is queen to h7. This is so funny when you understand what's going on here. This bishop is actually pinned two different ways at the same time. It's pinned here to the king, so you legally cannot take the queen. You're just not allowed to put yourself in check, right? But it's also pinned here, so you can't really take the bishop unless you're willing to give up your queen. So it's like a double pin going both ways. So for example, if you take here, you lose your queen, and whatever you do, I mean, you can move your queen somewhere, but then white's going to take here with check or even with the bishop, either way, and it's going to lead to a win. So it's really funny, but white wins. Black is just double pinned and can't do anything. Let's go to the next position. All right, here's the next position where we get some really interesting stuff happening along the diagonals, which you're going to appreciate in just a second. So first of all, white's going forward again, and black is going this way. All right, so the first move here for white is knight to b4. The point is we're trying to stop the pawn from becoming a queen. We can't use our bishop to control the diagonal because black's knight is sitting there. So we have to try to use our knight. The problem is the king simply just takes it. All right, fine. So what do we do now? We push the pawn, trying to get a queen. And it looks like we're going to win, right? Because if black pushes, we get the queen, and black is too late. So what does black do? Bishop to e5. Very clever move. First of all, it's stopping us, so we have to take it. And now the point is that black plays a2, and if we get the queen, black gets the queen, and look at this. Skewers our king, and once we move, it's over. All right, so very clever idea by black. So what do we do? Well, we actually play the move bishop to e1 check. King is going to go here to stop us from going to c3. We go to c3 anyway, controlling the square, which means if black wants to get a queen, they now have to capture our bishop. So both players sacrificed a bishop. We get the queen first. Black gets the queen next. And look at this. All the pieces are on the diagonal, and all we have to do is slide our king out of the way, and now it's white who gets the skewer and wins the game like that. Pretty crazy, right? Both players had to sacrifice the bishop to kind of flip-flop who had the last move, which got the skewer and won the queen. Wow. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, guys, these last three positions are my favorite, and this one I just thought was super funny. So it's white to play and win. White is going forward, okay? Black's going this way. And the first thing that you should notice is black has a ton of pieces. Like, black has a lot of extra pieces, an extra queen, an extra rook, some extra pawns, and yet it doesn't even matter. So if you'd like to pause and think through what white can do here, it's a longer checkmate, but it's actually not that difficult once you see the idea. And so go ahead and take a look. I think a lot of you guys can actually solve this one, so don't give up too easily, but go ahead and take a look. All right, if you had a chance to look at that, the move is rook to h3 check, and this starts a sequence of moves, which is really, really funny. So the king is in check and only has one move right here. And then you play rook to h5 check. And if you look carefully, the king again only has one move right here. And then you play rook to f5 check. And if you look carefully again, the king only has one move. And then rook to f3 check. And if you look carefully again, the king only has one move. And then rook to d3 check. And if you keep looking carefully, you'll keep noticing that as we keep checking black's king, there's only ever one move. Check, check, checkmate. And that's it. So just to recap, black's king just did this. And our rook just did this, chasing the king all the way across the board over to here for the checkmate. I mean, I don't know. I just thought that was really funny and also really cool how there's so many pieces. Black has all these pieces, and the king just has to run all around and through them back to here to get checkmated by the rook. I mean, how do people come up with this? Like, I don't even know, but it's cool. I'm glad we have these to look at. So let's go ahead and look at the second to last one. All right, guys, this position is truly a nightmare for black. So it's white to play and win. White is going forward. Black is going this way. And the interesting thing, well, if you'd like, no, I'm not going to let you pause because this one's kind of a long one. So I'm just going to tell you the interesting thing about this one is if white just gets a queen, like let's just choose a pawn here and gets a queen, you lose now because black simply goes here, gets a knight. And by the way, all of these squares are covered. So you have to go into the corner, and then this is just checkmate. Okay, so you can't get a queen with any of your pawns, even though they're so close. So what you need to do is play knight to f4 check. And this is going to force the king to h6. The reason it forces the king to h6 is because if you go here or here, you step into this diagonal. So for example, if you go here, well, now white gets a queen with check, and now that's going to be winning for white. So you can never really allow white to get a queen and put your king in check if you're playing as a black. So that's why king to h6 is the only move. But now we have g8 knight, and this forces the king to go here. Again, you don't want to come this way because you step into the diagonal. Okay, so check with the knight. King has to go here. And I should mention, if you went into the corner instead, this is just checkmate immediately. So that doesn't work. So that's why black has to go back to h6. Now we take this pawn with check. Again, remember the king doesn't want to come here because you step into the path there of the queen with check. So you have to go this way. Check. Again, you don't want to move here because of the queen with check, either of these with check, right? So the king has to move to g7. Check. Again, you want to avoid the corner, so you have to go here. White plays check and checkmate. I mean, look at this checkmate pattern. It's like every knight is doing something important. You have 5 knights on the board, and you didn't ever get a queen. You just got 5 knights. It's amazing. And it's checkmate. So really cool. And now I did save the best for last. So let's look at the final one. All right, guys, here's the last position. This one was my favorite, and it kind of looks like a mess at first glance, right? Like, what's going on here? But I promise you it's going to be worth it at the end. So hang with me. White's going forward. Black is going this way. And the first thing that you should notice about this position is that white can actually checkmate black in one move in a number of different ways. So for example, this is just checkmate. Okay, queen e5 is just checkmate. Even knight to g5 is just checkmate immediately. But we are not going to do that if we're playing with white. We're going to do something that's much more interesting than checkmate in one. And let me show you what it is. Pawn to f3, check, which forces black to capture like this. Then we're going to take the bishop with check, which forces black to capture like this. Then we're going to play bishop to f5 check, which forces black to capture with this. I'm saying it's forcing because the king is stuck. You can't move the king anywhere. The king can't take these pieces, right? Oops, sorry, because it's defended. And so you have to just take the pieces, right? We're going to play rook to e6 check, forcing the pawn to capture. We're going to play knight to f6 check, forcing the pawn to capture. We're going to play rook to d4 check, forcing the pawn to capture. We're going to go here and get a queen, forcing black to block. We're going to take it, check, forcing black to capture. And you might be able to see where this is going. We're going to go check with our queen, forcing black to capture. And we're going to finish off the game in amazing style with a knight to g5 smothered checkmate. Have you guys ever seen something like this before? Wow. I mean, isn't that so much better than just a simple one move checkmate earlier? Ah, man. I really like chess. That's really cool. Hope you guys enjoyed those positions as much as I did. If you liked these and you want to see more like this, check out this video right here, which is going to have some very similar type of studies. But as always, thanks for watching. Stay sharp, play smart, and take care.